Coming up on Fulton Today, recommendations to help the state's busiest court system operate more economically and efficiently. And the new Adamsville Regional Health Center opens its doors to optimistic job seekers. Fulton Today is next.
From the Government Center in downtown Atlanta, you're watching Fulton Today with Shania Chavis.
Welcome to Fulton Today, everybody. I'm Shania Chavis. Fulton County officials may be one step closer to deciding whether or not to potentially merge two major functions of the state and superior courts, a move that could save millions of dollars. FGTV's Annalise Baker has the story.
Shania, a few years ago, the Fulton County Board of Commissioners and court officials first started discussing the idea to consolidate certain functions of the court. But first, everyone needed court data and professional opinions to help decide if this action would not only save taxpayer dollars, but to help both courts be more efficient. It has been a work in progress for Superior Court Chief Judge Cynthia Wright and State Court Chief Judge Patsy Porter since they announced the formation of the Fulton County Improvement Task Force back in November of last year. Since then, the task force and 3 committees have met over 30 times to come up with recommendations on how to best provide services for state and superior courts in tight economic times.
We have a superior court, 20 elected judges. We have a state court, 10 elected judges, and we have been operating in silos for years. And so at this point, we both came to the table, Chief Judge Porter and I, and again, we thought this is time for the 2 courts to not just look at each other, but to possibly work with each other and see if we could have an improved product for the taxpayer.
Because Fulton County is the largest and most populous county in the state, it also has the largest court system in the state. And as a result, there is a huge caseload. But despite the number of cases, a stagnant economy and shrunken tax base has caused a financial challenge. And that was the initial reason for the task force to come up with a solution for a more efficient court system.
We think that there are going to be opportunities in the coming years for the 2 courts to merge some of their functions, but it's really going to have to be directed by the judges themselves.
The task force came up with 7 recommendations to make both and state superior courts run more efficiently. A few included operating 1 jury pool and court interpreter office, implementing an electronic case filing application, and granting budget independence to the courts.
We not only wanted to ensure that we were a modern court that kept up with all of the technology and the current trends and best practices, but we need to ensure that we're spending our money wisely, especially with the decline in our revenues.
I thought the research that was and the data that was collected was is very strong, and I'm really looking forward to getting the final report and having our citizens see what it is that Fulton County is trying to do.
Shania, that final report was publicly unveiled late last week, and this week the Board of Commissioners is reviewing its findings. We will hear from task force members and the board about the report next week right here on Fulton Today. In downtown Atlanta, I'm Annalise Baker for FGTV.
Thank you very much, Annalise. Meanwhile, one of the county's major crime-fighting tools has a new look. The police helicopter has a new paint job with the department's logo clearly visible on the side. FGTV got to see the new look during a visit to the county airport, Brown Field. Last year, the department installed an infrared camera, or FLIR, to the chopper. The technology picks up heat signals and allows officers to track suspects at night, monitor large gatherings, and conduct standoff surveillance.
The next piece of equipment that we would like to put on it is a downlink, and the downlink would allow for anybody on the ground, like in our command center, to actually watch the actual camera and be able to see what the helicopter pilot is actually hovering over.
Because the pilot cannot fly and use the system all at the same time, there is always an observer in the chopper with the pilot. Well, the finishing touches are being put on the county's newest fire station. Grand opening ceremonies are scheduled next week for Station 11 along Fulton Industrial Boulevard. The previous station was more than 45 years old and was a bit outdated.
The existing Station 11 had really outlived its serviceability. It was built in 1966, and the county felt it was incumbent that we build a more modern station to serve the industrial and residential community of Fulton Industrial Boulevard and the corridor.
The new station will house a fire engine, a ladder truck, as well as the department's Special Operations and Hazardous Materials Unit. There will even be special accommodations for firefighters and members of the community.
This station will have two new features in it that we really, really love. It'll have a community room in it where the public can come in and use the community room for their meetings or special gatherings. I'm also on the mezzanine level installing an exercise space to get our firefighters physically fit.
Now you'll get a chance to tour the new station during the grand opening on October 10th at 10 a.m. Well, a number of opportunities were up for grabs at the new Adamsville Regional Health Fair's Job Fair. Representatives from nearly a dozen companies were on hand hoping to help residents who were hoping to find a job. FGTV's Lynn Vaughn has our story.
Sonia, talk about success. Even the workforce development staff was surprised by but prepared for the hundreds of people who showed up here at the Adamsville Regional Health Center hoping to leave with a job. Over 500 applicants endured very long lines for the opportunity to meet with several private and public entities that were hiring.
We had Apple One, we have the City of Atlanta Fire and the Police Department, we have Dart Container Corporation as well as Priority One. This is It, which is a restaurant that is very, people are very familiar with them in the area, and Snyder National Trucking Company.
Galen Rogers, an instructor with the Home Builders Institute at Atlanta Job Corps, was recruiting students for that program and also showcasing the students who are ready to be employed.
With the market beginning to pick up in construction now, the jobs, the cranes, you can see them over the city of Atlanta. There's going to be a higher demand for our crafts. We teach everything from plumbing to HVAC, to electrical, all of the facility maintenance trades. We teach them all: painting, carpentry, masonry, and so we believe that the opportunities will be good for the students that we train and will help the Atlanta market at large.
Currently, I'm looking for an electrical job. I want to be an electrical contractor. I am EPA certified. I went universal and got my certification. So any job between HVAC and electrical, I'll be looking for.
It has been fantastic. We have seen people from all backgrounds, from an administrative background to warehouse background to retail, mainly office or customer service, just a plethora. So we're able to really guide them in whatever arena that they're looking for.
As applicants waited patiently, several shared their hopes for the future.
I'm looking for warehouse work or any type of work, really. I just need a job.
Anything in the customer service or administrative assistant department.
I'm looking for something in the sales and executive sales fields.
Today I'm looking for a job in customer service or retail, possibly call center. I'm looking for a part-time job.
If you miss a mega event like this job fair, not to worry. You can visit any workforce development office during the normal business hours, Monday through Friday. At the Adamsville Regional Health Center in Southwest Atlanta, I'm Lynn Vaughn, FGTV.
All right, thank you very much, Lynn. Now, you don't have to wait for the next job fair to get help training for a job. You can contact the Central Workforce Development Office at 404-730-7931. You can also visit FultonCountyGA.gov. Go to the Housing and Human Services webpage to find the 6 county-wide locations available to serve you. Just days are left to register to vote for the November 6th election. The registration deadline is October 9th. If you are registering for the first time in Georgia, you must have one of 6 acceptable forms of identification. If you don't have one of the acceptable forms, you can get a free ID from the Secretary of State's office or from the Fulton County's Office of Registration and Elections. They have a mobile machine that can make your ID on the spot.
Our research has indicated that Fulton County is the only county that is providing a mobile service for citizens. We found it important to do so as a result of our discussions with our community partners, who have indicated that there are a number of populations such as college students and the homeless community who are unable to come to one of our 3 locations to get an ID during our regular business hours at 8:30 to 5 p.m.
You don't have to wait until November 6th to cast that ballot. Advance voting starts October 15th at locations all around the county.
The poll operating hours for early voting from the hours of 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. The day established for Saturday voting operating hours are from 9 o'clock to 4 p.m.
Check out the county's website or call the Registration and Elections Office for times and locations nearest you. And still to come, North Fulton residents take part in an annual award-winning festival. We'll have the story in our district-by-district coverage next.
You're watching Fulton Today.
A Fulton County Senior Center celebrates 10 years in style and elegance, and a North Fulton festival attracts thousands. Here's this week's district-by-district coverage.
We begin in District 4. The 27th Annual Sandy Springs Festival attracts thousands of people from all over Fulton County. A juried artist market, Kiwanis Pet Parade, and the Doug Kessler Sandy Springs Lightning 5K, 10K race were some of the festival activities.
Everybody really anticipates the event. It's a great event. People mark their calendars well in advance. It's very popular. Everybody's been really looking forward to it, to come out and have fun with their family and friends and volunteer. And we've got a great weekend, and we're really excited to see everybody come together in the heart of Sandy Springs.
The festival serves as a fundraiser for Heritage Sandy Springs, a nonprofit organization focused on preserving and promoting the city. The festival was held at Heritage Sandy Springs. The 4-acre park includes art exhibits and a museum. District 5 Commissioner Emma I. Darnell and the Fulton County Board of Commissioners focus on reducing and eliminating pollution in minority, low-income, and non-metro areas. The board approved a resolution to create an environmental justice work group at the August 15th meeting. A study on environmental injustice in Metro Atlanta identifies Fulton County government as a leader in reducing and eliminating pollution, but there is more work to be done.
The formation of this group, the Fulton County Environmental Justice Working Group, is significant to enhancing the current efforts of Fulton County and its commitment to environmental justice.
The team will focus on developing environmental justice initiatives, policies, and funding resources.
It is anticipated that the formation of this group will lead to policy changes and operational changes that will bring about positive impacts, hopefully leading to healthier Fulton County.
The Fulton County Environmental Justice Work Group includes representatives from county agencies and departments. And District 6 Seniors Fellowship at the Helene S. Mills Senior Center for an evening of dinner and dancing for the center's 10th anniversary.
Wonderful, wonderful feedback from the community as well as from our corporate sponsors, lots of volunteers. We're all excited about the event.
Named for Atlanta native and community activist Helene S. Mills, the center opened in September 2002. The event serves as a fundraiser for Friends of Mills Incorporated. The group is dedicated to creating quality programming for the seniors, like hosting gaming tournaments and field trips. For more information about the center, call 404-523-3353. And finally, in District 7, education takes center stage with the South Fulton Education Alliance, a group formed by Commissioner William Bill Edwards to target education issues. The topic was highlighted at the Feldwood Back-to-School Community Festival in South Fulton. Citizens documented the event with photos. School officials from Feldwood Elementary and Banneker High School were featured at the event.
The target of this fair was not only just to have food and games for the community, but to show some solidarity toward education in the community. Feldwood is the area that centers around Banneker High School. Our thrust in government is that we increase the academic level.
According to AJC.com, high school dropouts can affect taxpayers, and they are more likely to spend time in prison and need public assistance. With this week's District by District coverage, I'm Jaya Franklin.
And when we come back, A look at a very unique group of Special Olympians. Stay with us.
You're watching Fulton Today.
Portions of the following segment are part of the Fulton County Common Ground Initiative. Common Ground, the county's comprehensive solution to the problem of health disparities in the community.
The Special Olympic Georgia Fall Games are the focus of this week's Common Ground report. FGTV's Lynn Vaughn has a story of the county's bocce team. Lynn, what is that?
Well, bocce, a sort of Italian bowling game, is what these clients of Fulton South Training Center are practicing. The 4 members of a team each get a brightly colored ball about the size of a softball. Throwing underhand, players roll their balls to get as close as possible to the white Polino ball. The team whose ball is closest to the Polino ball wins. Good job, Bill. The county will have 2 men's teams and 1 women's team competing in bocce ball at the 2012 Special Olympics Georgia State Fall Games in Dalton, Georgia, on the weekend of October 12th through the 14th.
We're one team, but we're breaking them up into 2 groups, and they're just practicing on their release and their aim and their stance of getting closer to the Polino ball.
The City of Atlanta is the county's partner in this activity. Our teams are competing only in bocce. Other events at the games will be cycling, golf, long-distance running and walking, and softball. The programs Fulton provides at its 3 centers for persons with developmental and other disabilities give the clients the skill and confidence to take part in events like the Fall Games and to perform daily activities to their fullest potential.
Let's aim for the Polino ball. Get your proper stance, take your time, and release.
The county invites parents and caregivers of developmentally disabled relatives or friends to contact one of our 3 training centers. There are programs to address all levels of need, and who knows, you might have a budding special athlete waiting in the wings.
Good job, Mike.
At the Special Olympics training field in Cone Park, East Atlanta, I'm Lynn Vaughn, FGTV.
All right, thank you very much, Lynn. Now, the contact program managers Erica Williams Walker or Angela Russell Lee at the numbers you see here for details on specific services and programs. Calling all guys, there is a special program at the Central Library just for you.
When everybody heard John Coltrane on this record, they knew that John Coltrane had finally arrived.
The monthly empowerment workshop helps men identify ways to stay positive and therefore healthy. At this session, the group studied the life of jazz legend John Coltrane.
Through all of his trials he went through, he's had some drug problems, he had some alcohol problems, and he kept persevering. He got himself cleaned up, he got himself more dedicated spiritually and musically, and whereas most people have, probably find their calling at 20 or maybe even 30, John Coltrane didn't make his mark till he was 32, and his most important recording didn't come till he was 38 years old. So to keep pushing in your life and not assume that just because you're an adult, if you're not where you want to be, well, neither was John Coltrane, and it didn't stop him.
I'm a Charlie Parker fan, I'm a Coltrane fan, and I'm a jazz fan, period. And I dug this. I just happened to hear it call on the loudspeaker right now. I had to have this to celebrate a great man's birthday, a great humanitarian, a great musician. He was somebody real special.
The facilitator used the occasion of Coltrane's birthday, which was September 23rd, to deliver a message of empowerment to men who may have given up on meeting their life's goals.
Ultimately achieve empowering men, and we have women who come to the workshop also, as far as giving them a lifestyle of skills, lifetime skills that they may use as far as continuing education, employment opportunities, even things as far as creativity and things that motivate.
Men's empowerment workshops are held every 3rd Tuesday of the month at noon in the central branch of the library downtown. You can check it out, and women are also allowed to attend. And finally, in our Common Ground report, more accolades for the Fulton Fresh Mobile Farmers Market. The nationally acclaimed program closed out its second season with an outdoor festival last month. It had every reason to celebrate after distributing some 8 tons of fresh food this summer in neighborhoods where fresh food is scarce. For that, the Board of Commissioners praised the Cooperative Extension Department with a proclamation. Dr. Mina Chester is the director of the department.
We could not have done it without our facilities and transportation team. They have been so wonderful in helping us to get these trucks where they need to go. And we would also like to thank the Office of Communications for just helping us to promote the program and helping us to get into the neighborhoods where we need to go. So thank you to the Fulton County Board of Commissioners and the leadership. We really appreciate your support for this program.
Now here's the contact information for Cooperative Extension Services. Get in touch if you'd like to be a part of the Mobile Farmers Market program. The 3rd season will start in June of 2013. And up next, a national improvement program helps a South Fulton park get back in the game. We'll explain when we come back.
You're watching Fulton Today.
A Fulton County gym gets an extreme makeover. Burdette Park Gym won a $15,000 grant from the Coca-Cola Company and the National Recreation and Park Association. It was a part of the nationwide Sprite Spark Parks program. The grant provides funds for 25 parks across the country to keep players on the court instead of on the sidelines. The money will go to renovations at the gym.
Renovations primarily will consist of redoing the gymnasium floor and also adding a brand new scoreboard to the gymnasium as well, both of which are pretty high ticket items, and so that's a great opportunity. And then there'll be some remaining funding for some minor maintenance and other repair issues.
Upgrades at the gym are currently underway. You can visit the county's website for parks and recreation news and information. And finally, a play about social issues and love inspires dialogue on and off the stage. A racially diverse cast starred in the stage play Blacks, Whites, and Blues at the Southwest Arts Center. The plot focuses on an interracial couple who turns out to be siblings instead of lovers. The play's director used each character to dispel social myths.
It doesn't make any difference whether you're black or white, but that love is the most important thing.
As far as stereotyping, audience members left with a new mindset.
It really made me realize that too much of it's going on and that I really need to check myself as well.
The play also featured talented county employees. For other plays and events, you can visit fultonarts.org. And before we go, our reminder that we'd like to hear from you about the stories and programs here on FGTV. Go to our website to take a survey, or you can email or call us. The number 404-612-8317. The email address is fgtv.feedback@fultoncountyga.gov. You can also follow us on twitter.com/FGTV and friend us on Facebook. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. I'm Shania Chavis. Thank you for joining us. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.